Hi, I'm Courtney McQuade with Markets Group here at our annual ALTSLA event. With me today is Cathie Wood, CEO and CIO of ARK Investing. Cathie, great to see you.
Great to see you, Courtney.
So we were talking a little bit earlier today. I know that you spent 12 years at AlliBernstein. What was the impetus to finally leave and launch your own fund?
Well, the world was changing pretty quickly, and we're focused on our investment strategy, focused on major innovation platforms that are technology enabled, that are going to transform the world. And AlliBernstein was shifting a little bit more towards quantitative research, which focuses very much on what has happened, what is working in the market. And we are focused on what will happen in the market. So there was a time horizon disconnect. We have a 5-year investment time horizon, and most traditional asset managers have I'd say a 1 to 1.5 year time horizon, which is not enough when researching technologically enabled innovation. So I decided to fulfill an unmet need in the marketplace, which is what you should do if you have a business idea. It must be for a good reason. I felt this was a good reason, and so we're now focused exclusively on robotics, energy storage, artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, and multi-omic sequencing in the life science space.
That's incredible. I was just watching your TED Talk from last October where you were talking about how it's such a rarity that we'd have these 5 innovative platforms happening all at once. And I believe you said the last time anything close to that happened was the early 1900s, and there were only 3, correct?
Yes. So back then, and you do have to go back then to see multiple innovation platforms evolving at the same time. So back then, it was telephone, electricity, and the internal combustion engine.
For cars.
Yes, which completely transformed the world. Otherwise, we'd be still working on farms, right?
Right.
And the same thing's going to happen now. I know a lot of people are afraid of the future, but if anything, technology is a job creator. You just cannot imagine the jobs that can be created. For example, in the early 90s, when the internet was evolving, we had no idea about Uber or Airbnb, but they could not have existed without the internet.
Right.
So, yeah, we're excited. We're excited about the years ahead.
I am too. And you were talking about the way AI will impact the economy coming up. Would you share your thoughts on that?
Yes, we think AI is the biggest catalyst. It will speed up all of these other platforms. And we think that it's going to create a productivity boost, the likes of which we have never seen. We think human productivity will go up 4-fold by 2030. Can you imagine doing 4 times more than what you're doing now?
It's incredible.
It'll be you. So you can think of artificial intelligence when it comes to human beings as augmented intelligence. It's going to lift us all up, give us the opportunity
Not replace.
No, I think if we
Lift.
but lift us up, we have to keep up with it. We have to keep learning, and we have to want to embrace these new technologies and get creative with them. But if you do, there's a huge wave ahead, because with productivity gains comes income growth and wealth creation.
And you were talking earlier about, and hopefully, deflation.
Yes, and so one of the things that we think is going to happen because of these 5 innovation platforms is real GDP growth is going to accelerate. It has been, since the early 1900s, it has been roughly 3% on average per year, with China being bringing up the rear, the latest. We think that could go to 6 to 8%, and many people find that incomprehensible, but that's what happens with productivity growth. The other thing that happens is inflation comes down. Technology is deflationary. So we can imagine real growth going from 3% to 6 to 8%, but inflation actually going negative. So nominal GDP growth, which includes both units and prices, might not change that much from where we are today. It'll be just much healthier, more units, less inflation.
That's really interesting. I can't wait to see that happen.
Yeah, it'll be good for everyone.
Now, it is Women's History Month.
Yes.
Before we wrap up, I would love to ask you, I know that you do a lot to support women in the industry. If there are other women out there watching this and they're considering a career in fund management, what would your advice be to them?
Well, I can tell you I've loved it. The world is our oyster. I think one of the most important things anyone has to do is make sure that they can be measured. So for better or worse, my track record is daily, actually hourly, or by the minute, or by the second. So lots of ways to measure. How do we measure ourselves? We take a long-term point of view. So you can't look at your performance every day, and if it's this, that, or the other relative to your own expectations, get upset about it. If you're doing the right kind of research, and that's critical. I think with the dawn of quantitative research, fundamental research has taken more of a back seat. I think that's going to change.
Trying to bring that back?
I think that's going to change because of these 5 innovation platforms. They don't exist in the past. Quantitative research is based on what has happened historically. These platforms are going to create what's going to happen in the future.
That's incredible. That's great advice. Yeah. Thank you, Cathie. Thanks so
you.
much for joining today.
Thank you,
And we
Courtney.
are live at our ALTSLA event.